Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is December the 4th, 2024. This is your Bitcoin update. It's been a relatively slow start to the week. Well, we're midway through the week now, but it has been a relatively slow start to the week. Had some nice trades, but lower time frame trades. And yeah, maybe now is the time to start looking at potential bigger moves coming as we go into the end of the week. So I did want to make a video for you guys today just to explain this. So the last update I did, the last video update I did, other than like the streams and stuff, I was in these short positions. So we first of all had the short that I took on Sunday the 24th of November, which came down to that target of 91,200, which is what I wanted to see. And then on Monday this week, once again, we did have another short opportunity, and that short was very simply to come back in and fill the imbalance that we had on the 4-hour. I didn't want to see any acceptance below there, but that gave us the opportunity to close out of that short position and look once again for longs. Then since then, we had another opportunity last night. So we were in the voice chat yesterday for everyone that was in the crew. We had a really good long setup that came out yesterday. The entry for this we just kind of drew on the chart during the call itself. But realistically, I am looking at this having a decent chance of a little bit of a move higher today, even though I think we're maybe like overall kind of range bound still. I'm not sure if this has enough momentum behind it to really get up to its main targets, but we've hit a couple of take profits. Well, we've hit a take profit from this already, but this was a trade mentioned yesterday where price simply had this drop. Of course, we dropped down. We had confluence here with, of course, the anchored VWAP of the range, and we did fill in the whole imbalance that we had from back on the 27th of November, putting in a nice low for the month, a nice low for the week, before reclaiming, of course, what was the previous day open and making its way back up towards the monthly open and the weekly open up here. But the entry that we had yesterday, this was last night, was this had made a nice 1-hour OB. Or breaker block, whatever you want to call it, where we had this sweep below, price then impulse back through it, you hold as support, and then we're looking for continuation, essentially to take out that last pivot high, which is what we saw overnight here. So a decent little trade, but again, not really too much else going on here. If we look on the 4-hour, we are slap bang in the middle of this range. We're starting to climb back up. We have had this point of control. Now, this also happened yesterday. We did have the point of control shift down, and as it shifted down, we then got that price repel away from it, came into that 1-hour OB, and then we got a decent bounce from that. So this is why the target for me really is back up towards the previous point of control of the range, which is now the value area high of the range. So we have another nice high volume node up there. So around about that 98,600 zone would be the ultimate target for this. And then, to be honest, if we do get up to there, I think we're probably looking at new all-time highs anyway, because there's nothing left below us to really start to correct here. We've been holding the anchored VWAP. We've been holding these points of control, and what we also have here is the 100 EMA on the 4-hour that has once, twice offered decent support on this move up, as we have seen previously, offering decent support on these moves, and I would be looking once again for continuation here. So I did start the week with maybe a slightly bearish bias. We hit the minimum target for this. If we did start closing candles below 94K, then I was going to look for much deeper, down towards that $89,000 zone, and then potentially even lower. But it doesn't really seem like we're going to get that anymore, so everything looking fairly good. Of course, what we also have is Bitcoin dominance continuing to move down. However, anchored VWAP from the big break in Bitcoin dominance as Bitcoin started its, I guess, new bull run coming out of the bear market. We did have that big impulse coming up, and we're hitting into that anchored VWAP now here on the daily. So potential for some support there from Bitcoin dominance to get a bit of a bounce after it did break down from this falling wedge previously. So a little bit of a fake out, and then altcoins looking really, really good. And of course, most of my exposure right now is in altcoins. So for myself, there hasn't really been any need necessarily to be updating things. I'm literally just holding alts and making money right now. So happy days. Everything is looking very, very nice. If you do want me to go over more altcoins, then of course the place to be for that will be in the trading rooms for the crew, or when I do live streams. I'm not going to touch too much upon the altcoins in these quick update videos. What else do we have to say? There really isn't too much else here. If we are looking for a breakout, we have targets, right? We have targets of the 1.618 that could take us all the way up to around about $128,000. I, of course, don't think we're going to get there in one go. We're probably going to get a move up to like 106, 108, and then see another correction from there. But maybe ultimate macro targets for this, looking around about that 1.618. I actually drew all of this stuff because I made some educational content on it. But essentially, this is the kind of thing that I'm looking at on the macro. But yeah, nothing too much else to say on that. Is there anything else of relevance here? Let's turn on the TPO and have a little look locally. There really isn't. There really isn't. So we don't have any NPOCs above. We do have, no, that was already tested because that's when I took the short. We had the previous weak points of control, which was the move that we had on the Monday, which is then the move that I did take the short from. So yeah, in all honesty, nothing really above in order to be looking at from a TPO perspective locally. So we would be looking at a breakout. Anything below, of course, that MPOC has now been cleared up, the one from the 27th of November. We've corrected any imbalance from down there, and you have to look a long way back for anything else, like naked daily opens, naked POCs. They're a long way down. They're all the way down here at like 81,000. So yeah, we are looking at, well, we've been compressing, and I think compression is still what we're likely to see, contain a little bit more balance here. Poor lows on the day yesterday, but I don't think too significant because it was just the timing of those lows. And yeah, overall, I think having seen this correction, once again, it's almost looking like correction is all we got rather than a big flush, and we're probably looking for higher prices again. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Enjoy your day. We'll see what happens. It's just a bit of a game of patience right now, a waiting game to see which way this breaks. And yeah, all is good. All is good. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.